Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Alternative Ways, September 30th, 2021 in service. Hope you all are doing well out there, hanging in there for a beautiful Thursday. Our weather is wonderful. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I have a couple things that I need to go over with you guys today. The first one is I want to talk about the Cal Savers. I'm sure a lot of you have seen on your check stub, there's a little withdrawal there. And we've been talking about Cal Savers for a couple months now that it was coming, and that if you didn't address it, that it was automatically going to be auto-enrolled out of your paycheck. So a lot of you are seeing that withdrawal now and are questioning it. And what you need to know is that we at Alternative Ways cannot help you with anything. This is a government program. It's run by the government. We just take the money out that they tell us to take and send it to them. So the withdrawal, from what we understand, is anywhere from 0 to 5%. So if you choose not to respond to the Cal Savers and you're just kind of ignoring it a little bit, you can guarantee you're going to get 5% of each paycheck taken out. So I'm going to give you a phone number to call. The number is 1-855-650-6918. That's directly to Cal Savers, and you can talk to them about whatever's going on. If you want to stop it, if you want to increase it, if you want to decrease it, all that stuff needs to go through them, okay? The second thing I want to talk about is COVID. Elizabeth is going to give you some real specific details about what's happening with COVID. But my part, two things. Number one, the actual state mandated COVID pay is going by the wayside. So as of September 30th, there is no longer COVID pay for people that have been exposed and have to be home quarantining or taking care of kids that have COVID. It's gone by the wayside. There is no more COVID pay. So that's a little information for you guys. The second piece of information I have for you is a big one. I don't know if you all know, but most, I'm sure, have heard already that in our industry, the guidelines came down yesterday for mandatory vaccines. Don't panic, don't panic, don't panic. So we have until the end of November to enforce as a company that all of our employees be vaccinated. Now you have a couple options. If you have a religious belief that eliminates you in that matter, or you have a medical reason that you cannot get the vaccine, those are exemptions, and you can apply for exemptions. So there will be a form that's coming out over the next month that you'll need to fill out. You have to submit it to us. You know, your doctors have to write a note saying that you're exempt. One of the things that has changed, though, different than what the school systems are doing and other places like healthcare nurses, if they choose not to get vaccinated, they can test. This is not an option for our industry. There is no ability for you guys to test in lieu of being vaccinated, except for the exceptions. If it's a religious belief or if it's a medical reason you can't get the vaccine, then you still have to do weekly testing. We'll talk more about that as the time goes on. But like I said, don't panic. Not doing nothing till the end of November. So we're good. I'm just trying to kind of give you guys a heads up. I think we have 6 people out of all of our staff that are unvaccinated. So our percentage rate in a company is very high. And I think that's a really good thing. It protects our clients as well as our staff. But now the state, the Department of Developmental Services have now gone one step further. So that's that. We don't have a whole lot more information other than just that basic stuff. But as time goes on, we'll be talking to the individual people and kind of seeing where your head's at and kind of what your plans are for after November 30th. So that's COVID. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about is our SLS program. That's for those of you who are ILS, it's our supported living service. Currently, we have 6 homes in Fresno and 2 homes in South Valley that we do supported living services for those individuals. 3 of those homes here in Fresno have been 24 hours facilities. That means we have staff in there 24 hours around the clock assisting these folks. So alternative ways, I have made a decision to eliminate 3 of the SLS individuals that we provide 24 hours around the clock staffing for. It was a really hard decision. It was strictly a business decision. We love these individuals and we're going to be very, very sad to see them go. However, with this fantastic staffing shortage that we have, and with COVID and people calling off because their families are ill and they've been exposed, it's been really, really tough this last almost year and a half. So, well, more than a year and a half. So I did make the decision to decrease those 3 clients. We will still have 5 other clients that we will maintain and continue with them. It's just the 24 hours service that we're going to stop. Now, again, if you're an SLS staff, we've probably already talked to you, and this is probably no great surprise to you. We are making accommodations for most of we are able to make accommodations for most of our SLS staff in transitioning them over to ILS. We have many new referrals that have kind of been waiting out there on the sidelines because we didn't have staff, and now we will have staff. So that transition will start October 15th. Will be our last day with our folks. So if you have any questions as how this is going to affect you, or if we haven't talked to you about it yet, please contact either Misty or Tina or I. Contact some of us, and then we can kind of have a little more detail about what's going on. What we have decided to do with our folks is kind of a closure and a good way to say goodbye is we're going to have a drive-by party for them. So we're looking at October 12th. I think it's a Tuesday. We're going to have a drive-by here at the office. We'll have all the folks here. We encourage all of you to come by, say goodbye. Some of you guys have been working with these individuals for many years and very closely. And I know it's going to be a really hard thing and a hard adjustment to be able to say goodbye and not be with these individuals anymore. Plus, I think it's a really good transition for them. They're able to say goodbye to you also. The clients that we serve now, 2 of them know, but one of them doesn't know yet. That hasn't been shared with them yet that we're not going to service them any longer. So if you could please not talk about it with the clients. It's tough enough that this is happening for them. We don't want behaviors to happen. They don't need to be upset. The places that, the people that are going to be taking over are wonderful people. They're going to be in really good hands. So we feel confident in the programs that are going to be taking over for them. And we think it's going to be really good for them. But again, it's going to be a transition for them. So please don't chit chat among staff, and the clients will hear you and they're going to feel the energy from you. So make sure if you need somebody to talk to about it, call us. Okay. So the last thing I have to talk about at this point is I want to talk about appropriate dress and appropriate attire. I know most of our ILS staff know that when you have meetings, when you're out in the community, you know, you're representing us as a company. I'm pretty lax in what we wear around the office here. We wear jeans as long as they're nice jeans. You know, we're not wearing pajamas. We're not wearing, you know, cut off tank tops or anything like that. We still dress professionally. And I know that some of you guys, SLS, are going to be transferring over to ILS. So I think it's time that we kind of talk about our presence out in the community and how we need to present ourselves out there. When you're going from SLS to ILS, it's a whole different ballgame. You're not wearing sweats anymore. You're not wearing t-shirts anymore. You're not wearing house shoes anymore. Some of the more lax stuff that we were able to let you do, you know, in home. The other thing that you need to be aware of, especially, you know, if you're working late afternoon shift or early morning shift, in SLS, who cares if you brush your hair? Who cares, you know, if you put on makeup? Who cares about what you look like? But when you transition over to ILS, it's a whole different ballgame. You have to role model that for your client because you're going to be out in the community. You know, things like making sure your hair is appropriate and your hair is clean. You know, we're role modeling for clients, and you as well as I know, there are some clients that aren't even showering and they're not using deodorant, and that's unacceptable. So we as staff need to be able to take care of ourselves and present ourselves as, you know, people with really good hygiene, and that we care about ourselves and that we're portraying great confidence in ourselves by the way that we look. So please be aware, you know, that clients also want you to be dressed appropriately and act appropriately and wear deodorant and maybe throw on some mascara or lipstick every now and then. Not that that's required, but take pride in yourself and know that, you know, when you're in a car with somebody and, you know, if they have a particular lack of hygiene and, you know, they may have an odor, unfortunately, that needs to be addressed with them. And if it comes to staff, then it needs to be addressed to you. So you need to make sure you're thinking about those kinds of things. You're now going to be in vehicles with cars. You're now going to be at doctor's offices. So again, we need to promote ourselves in a very professional manner out in the community. So that's all I have for you guys right now. Elizabeth's coming up next. I can figure out how to stop this thing. Oh no.
Good morning, everybody. I'm here to talk about the COVID updates and the boosters, PPE protocols, and client releases. So the new COVID updates, I know Cindy went over some of the newest updates on that. So if you would like help scheduling your vaccine, you can give me a call or email me or even come in and I can help you do that if you're having trouble. The boosters have been approved for Pfizer. The CDC is actually recommending them for Moderna, but unless you're immunocompromised, you're not going to be able to get an appointment right now. So, but that will be changing very soon. So if you do want to get your booster shot, and again, if you want help with that, just give me a call and I can help facilitate that. PPE. So if you are not vaccinated, you have to be wearing an N95 mask when you're with clients. Everybody else, we're still wearing masks, especially in the car. We're still following all of the transportation protocols. So you need to be wiping down your car, taking temperatures, doing the questionnaire, all of that stuff. And then of course, if you have symptoms, do not work with a client, call your case manager immediately. And so we're still following all of those same protocols, just keeping everybody safe. So, and if you're not vaccinated, then you will have to wear the N95 mask. And again, if you're symptomatic, immediately call in. We have to update the client releases. for COVID, saying that they want to continue using our services, even though there's a risk of, the COVID being out there, and the risk of contracting it while working with us and using our services. So we'll need updates. We'll be asking you, your case manager will be asking you to get your clients to sign those and get those back as soon as possible. If a client receives a vaccine, make sure you get us the card. That's really important. Even just a picture of it, we need the front and back of it. And I think, and then when you do go for your booster, be prepared with your ID and your badge. If you don't have a badge, let one of us know as soon as possible. And if necessary, we can provide it a letter of employment, proof of employment, if they want that for the healthcare settings for the booster. And that, again, for Pfizer, you should be able to get from Moderna. Will be coming soon. Okay, thanks everybody. Have a good day.
Good morning, Alternative Way staff. I'm going to be going over time cards and schedules. So for the time cards, can you guys please make sure that you guys are clocking in and clocking out every time with your clients, making sure that you're clocking into the individual, the department at all times. If you have an error or a mispunch, please make sure you contact the case manager and let them know so that they can fix your time card for any errors or mispunches. And that needs to be requested through email with any corrections so that we make sure those are taken care of and we know that the case managers are not playing with your time card. At the end of payroll, you guys get an email from iSolve, which is PPI, stating to verify your time cards. Once again, don't verify your time cards until case managers ask you to verify due to the errors and the changes and the mispunches that we have to fix and the alerts on our end. But everyone does need to verify their time cards when asked to before submitting payroll. Charting, making sure that you are charting after your shift. You have 24 hours after your shift to put in your charting, making sure that you're putting in the accurate time. For those ones that are doing Case Magic, I've noticed when I'm doing the audits for charting that you guys aren't actually putting in 1 to 3. It'll be 1 to 1. So it shows on our end that the charting is missing, that there's nothing there. So making sure that you do put the accurate times of the when you're working with the client. Schedules for ILS, please make sure that you are sending in your schedules, monthly schedules of where you're working at, who you're working with, and what goals you're working on. The case managers really need to know and be aware of all the clients' medical appointments. A lot of them are seeing specialists, as in cardiologists and podiatrists. So we need to know, and the case managers really need to know that information. So when they develop the reports, so making sure that the schedules are turned in, making sure you're letting your case managers aware of what's going on with your client when it comes to medication changes, doctors, if there's any doctors changes, any ads, stopping. I know a lot of our clients right now are not happy with Clinica, and they're switching over to United Health. So for those ones that are looking for doctors for their clients, look into United Health. Their facilities have everything there. They have an eye doctor, they have OBGYN, they have in the primary. So make sure that and they actually have dentists as well. So making sure if your clients aren't happy with their current primary doctor, to look into United Health. There's various United Health throughout Fresno. So look at that as well. If you need more information on that, contact your case managers. They are aware of those facilities. Another thing I wanted to talk to is charting. There's numerous chartings that are out. So as I go in and audit and I sit with the case managers to do payroll, if charting is missing and it is not done in the accurate time that needs to be done, there will be paper checks be mailed out. Your checks will be mailed out. There will be no direct deposit. So be mindful of making sure your charting's in. I have a nice stack on my desk, so there will be a nice amount of paper checks being sent out this payroll already from this last payroll, this last month. So just be aware. I will send an email to those ones that will be getting paper checks. If there's any other questions or you have any concerns, if you're locked out of, for the SLS that's doing their app, if you're ever locked out, contact Misty. Misty is the one that, or me, I could reset your login. As of October 1st, Case Magic is full blown with ILS. There's no longer TheraP in ILS. Only SLS will be documenting in their app. If there's any other questions, reach out to me via email or text message. Sorry, I've been under the weather. So that's all I have to say. Just making sure that you guys stay in tune with the case managers, giving them updates on medical, making sure your charting is in. Time cards corrections are done via email. And that's about it. You guys have a great one. Thank you guys. Bye.